So a few days ago, I was catching up with a buddy of mine. I haven't spoken to him in a year, and he was just telling me how business is going well, it's booming, he's adding locations, just really knocking it out of the park, but it's taking a toll on him, and he really wants to go somewhere for like a week, kind of chill and kind of recharge his batteries. So solo traveling for so many is such a daunting thing. So who better to ask than the solo travel king of some options of places that he can go to. So I said, all right, I'll help you, with some options, and then you can go from there. And in doing so, I always like to do a video to help people at scale. So for starters, my first choice of places I think you should go to is Panama City, Panama, not Panama City, Florida. And so the reason to go to Panama City is because it's just an amazing place. Wonderful views. They got high-rise buildings just as we do in New York City. And they also have like an old part of the city where things were before all the new money came in and whatnot. So you have that character of that area as well. Not to mention that the ease of, you could use your American dollar there. Panama is one of those places where you can use the American dollar. So that's one less thing you have to do about wondering how much money should I convert for my stay? Do I have to convert money back? You don't even have to worry about that when you go there. Just go and enjoy. They have great transportation. They have a train system. I remember when I took the train system, I'm like, wow, they have one? Like you're so in shock when other places have it, right? Which is crazy, but especially if you think in the context of Central America, you're not thinking that they have trains. Anyway, they have a train system, so it's cheap, reliable, clean, very clean. And so if he needs to get to different parts and explore different parts of the city, he can hop on the train. Obviously, there's Uber in a lot of these places now, so that is very helpful. So, and I also remember that Panama has some of the best fish I ever had in my life. So it's a great place, and he can blend in. Panama is one of those places where people look so different. So almost anybody can go and you not know that they're not from there. So the ability to blend in more places, it really helps you be a bit safer. Number 2 is Puerto Rico. So early on in my travel journey, I would not recommend people to go to Puerto Rico. A lot of people, unfortunately, look at Puerto Rico as a fake Caribbean island, right? But my views are not the same anymore. I've been there about 3 times. Puerto Rico is still the Caribbean, even though it's part of the U.S. You still get the same great weather and whatnot. Just like Panama, obviously you could use your U.S. money, is the U.S. And also they have that thing as well. In Old San Juan, they have the area where the big hotels are, where the beach is. And then they also have the Old San Juan area where kind of like lower buildings, and they have a nightlife there. So definitely a great place to consider. And just the ease of not worrying about having to go through immigration. Puerto Rico, it just makes it that much better. When you go state to state, city here, and not have to worry about immigration is cool. Because that immigration line is usually long, coming from several locations. And then the questioning, and then the retrieval of your bags, it's a mess. So you just cut that out when you go to Puerto Rico. So that's one of the major reasons to go to Puerto Rico. If you want less of a headache of immigration and you don't have to worry about converting your money. So the 2 things that make that a great choice than other places. I would say number 3, I would suggest him to go to Aruba. Now Aruba, it's a wonderful place in the sense that just like the other places I named, they have a new and an old area. So you do have options on where you want to stay. Some people might look at Aruba as a little bit expensive, depending on, that's the consensus that people have. But they do have different options. So just check around. They do have different amenities that you can use. What I like Aruba for is, if my friend wants to do like a quad, if he wants to ride a quad, ATV, that's one of the places that you can do that. The first time I went to Aruba, I rode a motorcycle. I know he doesn't have a motorcycle license, but you can get on a four-wheeler, and you could really take that thing far. The reason I got the quad the second time, because I wanted a motorcycle. I was with my wife, and it's more comfortable for her to just sit on a quad than on a motorcycle. And obviously a comfortable ride for me. We took that thing so far to the point where there was less buildings, more land, and even like the outskirts of prison where the outskirts of the city where the prison is. We went that far, and then you're like, by the time you see the prison, you know what? I think we went further enough, and so far enough, and so we made a about face and went back the other way. There's also the area, anybody that knows about Aruba, where the lighthouse is, there's also that option. They always have. It's fun to get around that area. There's a bunch of sand, so you feel like you're going off-road. So that's a good thing to enjoy, where the water and the rocks meet. So he'll definitely be able to still chill and relax. But if he wants to include some off-road activities, this is the place. I find that Aruba is one of those places that it's easy to rent one of those, as well as it's one of those places where it's the least expensive, because other places have it, but they tend to be more expensive. Like, let's just say St. Martin, for example, they might be more expensive. So that's another thing. So here's a bonus. I would say I think he should go to Bahamas. I thought about Bahamas too, because I haven't been there in over 10 years. But I thought about Bahamas because my cousin is there right now, and it is a great option. And all these places I'm naming, the people look different, so it's easier to blend in for almost anybody. So that's cool. So he'll feel safe. And they all carve out an area in which is, especially for tourists, that you can feel safe and no one will bother you, and not really begging going on. So I think that's really good. Bahamas, you'll see where the ships are, and it's made in a great loop as well, because when people get off the ship, they have to walk around and see the city as well. So it's one of those great places that he can check out. He can also stay. They have the bigger hotels, so it's very diverse, these options that I'm giving you, in terms of the big hotels and the smaller options, as well as it being easy to walk around. Even in San Juan, Puerto Rico, they have this path between, if I haven't mentioned it, between like the new San Juan and the old San Juan, if you will, where it's just easy to walk. Like the times I've gone, there's always something going on where people are using those routes. Either as a protest or like some type of parade. It's just so easy to walk one way and then loop around the other way, and you'll get back to point A. So that's a great thing. So hopefully it was helpful for him as well as you guys. Let me know, does this work for you? And like I said, he's in Central Florida, so he can get to any of these locations within no time. All right, so until next time, Dave the Ring, No Frontier, over and out.